Attention please. This upload is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. GPITRAL. Definitely a must-see. Follow us.
Caption: You're about to witness reenactments of real encounters with terrifying monsters, aliens, and other mysterious creatures.
Stalked by the beast of Bray Road.
When I slowed down, this half man, half wolf looked right at me. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen, and I felt pure terror.
Dogman.
Face to face with the Michigan Dogman.
When I locked eyes with it, we both froze. It was coming directly at me, and that's when I said, time for me to go.
Turned into a cannibal by the ravenous Wendigo.
When somebody's possessed by the Wendigos, it's very terrifying, and they become a predator, and their family, relatives, or friends have become the prey.
Caption: Monsters and Mysteries. Wolfman, Dogman, Wendigo. A satellite view of the United States. Lights across the country twinkle.
30 miles west of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The town of Elkhorn sits among broad lakes and rolling hills.
Elkhorn is a really close-knit little town. You walk in a grocery store and you know people. Great town to raise a family.
Rolling farmland was predominantly rural for a long time. It's a quiet, nice little community.
Sometimes a little too quiet.
You hear, the creakings of the night. It can be very frightening just being out in the woods.
I've lived here all my life, better than 50 years. I know an awful lot of people. People weren't at all into the paranormal until this thing started to crop its head. It became something that was in the back of people's minds all the time.
It's been seen more than 100 times. It's never been captured. No ironclad proof. But rumors persist that a wolfman beast stalks the dark wooded roads of Wisconsin.
A car speeds on a rural road. Mist over a lake. Caption: Beast of Bray Road. Nighttime, a blonde woman runs across grass in a torn dress. Paranormal researcher Chad Lewis.
Dating back to the 1940s when people went to the woods, some of the old-timers remembered hearing stories of them coming back, screaming out of the woods with their clothing all shredded by this monster with these deep, dark scratch marks on their body, indicating that they did encounter some creature out there.
Mist rises over a forest.
In the late 1980s, the stories reached a new level of intensity.
In and around this area outside of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, there was a flurry of sightings of some unknown, upright, wolf-like creature.
The deer turns and runs as if startled. Sun shines through leaves. An aerial view of a forest, a calm lake.
There was a great amount of fear. People armed themselves and started to lock their doors, which is not normal around here, especially out north of Elkhorn where this beast was first sighted.
Most of the sightings were clustered along a single roadway.
Bray Road is a 2-mile stretch of country road. It's full of family farms. Some of them go back generations.
Just off of Bray Road, there's a large woods, very deep woods with a number of ponds in it.
And every now and then, something emerges. Something that Elkhorn native Lori Andreezy will never forget.
I never thought anything like this would ever happen to me, but it did happen, and it was one of the scariest moments in my life.
Cloud across a full moon. She's driving.
Late one evening in the fall of 1989, the local bar manager was driving home from work, driving on Bray Road.
It was a very quiet night.
Leaves flutter in front of a full moon. A shadowy creature with bloody fangs seems to be feeding on something. Dazzling car headlights up ahead of Laurie's car. There's a dog-like creature on the road.
I saw something on the road.
To Laurie, it looked like some sort of animal hunched over in the middle of the road. She inched closer for a better view.
I saw him kneeling on the road, like a person would kneel.
A blurred image of the creature.
I put my headlights on bright so I could see it. And that's what really made me realize it wasn't something normal.
And then, a blood-chilling realization.
It was holding the roadkill like it had elbows, and it was kneeling like it had knees, like a human being. Hands, elbows, knees. And I'm looking at it and I can't believe that I'm actually seeing this thing that I've never seen before. I was very, very frightened because I thought I was looking at a half man, half wolf, a werewolf.
The real terror came when the kneeling creature turned and locked eyes on Laurie.
His eyes were a glowing yellow. His eyes were actually glowing. It was frightening. I was looking at this creature and I felt pure terror. That's all I could feel.
It drops the leg of the creature it was devouring and snarls.
Just as the beast had fresh prey in its sights, Laurie's car wouldn't move.
The wolfman walks towards Laurie.
My heart was pounding. I was shaking.
Please, come on, Grace. Please.
She tries to start the car. The headlights go off. She stares ahead. She tries to start it again. The headlights come on. The wolfman is caught in the beam.
When her car roared to life, there was only one place to go.
I pretty much sped to my mom's and just got out of there as fast as I could. That creature was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Mom? Mom? What's wrong? What happened?
When Laurie came into the house, she was just full of panic. She said, "Mom, you're not going to believe what I saw." She said, "I saw a werewolf. It was kneeling on the side of the road. It had glowing eyes, and it was eating roadkill." And I said, "Oh my God, Laurie." She couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. We were just both in shock.
I know what I saw.
She was absolutely terrified. I have never seen Laurie that terrified, ever.
And Laurie is just one of countless others through history swearing they've seen a wolfman. The legend dates back to ancient times. In Northern Europe, pagan warriors dressed in wolf hides to channel the spirit of these aggressive pack animals. But by the late Middle Ages, rising panic over witchcraft turned the wolf and notions of a wolf man into something evil. Fueling the fear may have been Europe's first serial killer. In 1589, in Bedburg, Germany, Peter Stubb carried out more than a dozen brutal murders. Stubb wore a girdle made of wolf pelts that he claimed transformed him into a werewolf. Stubb was burned at the stake. Many werewolf legends were combined into Hollywood's classic tale.
Black and white movie title, The Wolfman.
The ill-fated human hero, under a full moon, cursed to transform into a savage beast.
From the movie titles, Back to the Thick Forest.
Only the creature that stalked Wisconsin in the 1980s appeared to be different. Less man, more wolf. Pumped with aggression and vying to survive on wild game.
A deer flees across a track.
No matter who might get in the way.
Back to Laurie in her car.
I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think it picked me out. I just think it was there, and I was there.
It staggers towards her, eyes aglow.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what if? What if it followed her home? What if there's more than one?
Laurie's mother, Pat. Low-lying mist. The wolfman's eyes glow green. Caption: Monsters and Mysteries. Laurie drives home at night.
On a fall evening in 1989, near Elkhorn, Wisconsin, local resident Laurie Andreezy was driving home. Her ride was interrupted when she saw a strange creature in the middle of the road.
And as I slowed down to look at it, it turned around and looked at me.
Staring into her headlights was a wolfman, the legendary beast of Bray Road.
I didn't sleep that night very well, mostly because I was thinking about this creature that I had seen.
An aerial view of woods, a deserted country road.
The day after her encounter, Laurie felt compelled to investigate the area where she saw the beast.
The feelings that I was feeling when I drove back to where I initially saw it was pretty creepy.
It's watching her from the bushes.
I was very hesitant to drive down Bray Road, but there's always that fear that it could be out there. Just walking around, looking for roadkill, looking to scare somebody.
She turns suddenly, looking scared as the bushes move. She jumps back in her car and drives off.
It was all so unbelievable. Laurie and her mom decided to keep quiet about the Wolfman encounter.
The story just seemed so outlandish, like, who's going to believe Laurie?
I didn't want to have a stigma attached to myself. So really, it was an easy secret to keep.
The town covered in snow.